I'm standing here at the headwaters of the Bear River. That's it, flowing right down there behind me, flowing out of these mountains here behind me. These are the Uinta Mountains, the highest mountains in Utah. The Bear River flows out of the Uintas and crosses the state line and slices across southwest Wyoming, back into Utah, and then eventually into the Great Salt Lake. Back in the 70s and early 80s, my wife and I and the family lived downstream from here several miles on a ranch, and our water came literally right out of that river. There was an intake on the ranch for the city of Evanston. They got their water supply there and routed it to a tank up on top of a hill outside of town. And they supplied the ranch with water for free, but it was untreated. Most of the time that was great because water was wonderful, and Linda worked as a secretary for the water quality office for a while, and one of their jobs was to test the quality of the water there at the intake, and they said it was fine. There was nothing wrong with that water. Now in the spring, in May and early part of June, when the snow mountain pack is melting up here, the river gets real muddy, and our water would come out of the pipe real cloudy and muddy. In fact, the ice cubes that you would see in the tray when you took them out would have a little layer of grit down on the bottom of the piece of ice. And then one time, Linda was running a glass of water out of the sink, and lo and behold, there was a little tiny fish swimming around in that glass of water. But most of the time, the water was great, and we literally lived by that water. Now that is interesting to me because in Wyoming, where we lived, oftentimes late in the summer and early fall, everything just looks like it's been burnt over, brown as it can be. If you get up high and you look off in the distance and you see a green swath, I guarantee you there's water there, because where water goes, there's life. We have a picture of that in the Old Testament. In the last chapters of Ezekiel, there is Ezekiel's temple that is described, and then out of the threshold of that temple comes a river of water of life. I believe that is a symbolic thing of the New Testament age. The water comes out of the threshold of the temple, gets deeper and deeper the further it goes, and eventually it winds its way down into the Dead Sea, and when it does, it heals those waters, and fish live there, and fishermen are throwing their nets in and drying their nets on the banks of the Dead Sea where absolutely nothing grows. I believe that's a picture of what the water of life, the gospel of Christ, does. Where it goes, it brings life. So I'd like to sing you a little song that sort of puts to music that idea.
There's a river flowing by my home, water, rushing water, flowing so clear and cold. It flows from mountains high above. It's fed by melting snows, flowing through a thirsty, barren land, bringing life where'er it goes. And I live by that river, drinking its waters cold. There's a river flowing from God's throne. Water, living water, quenching the thirsty soul. It started when our Savior died so many years ago, flowing to the barren lives of men, bringing life where'er it goes, and I live by that river, drinking its waters cold. Waters do the sea. May men live by that river, drinking its waters cold, drinking its waters cold.